I did this the other day, like randomly. I'm like, and then she's like, turn on the game. I was like, okay. Turned on the game, and she just started going at it. So
she just brings a spark and a tenacity about her that, maybe we weren't always getting on the defensive end, and she's just willing.
It began with whispers, quiet and uncertain, echoing through front offices and practice facilities as July rolled around. Lexie Hull's name was being mentioned in trade talks, and for the Indiana Fever, that was enough to send ripples across the league. Hull wasn't injured, nor was she in any sort of trouble. She was simply available, or at least that's what rival teams believed. Indiana, they said, wanted more perimeter scoring. Hull was a defensive spark plug, gritty and selfless, but her shooting numbers weren't exactly lighting up the stat sheet. So when a Western Conference contender, rumored to be Phoenix or Dallas, picked up the phone, the Fever listened. It was supposed to be a simple deal, depth for depth, nothing personal. But suddenly it all stopped. Calls went unanswered. Emails went cold. The chatter evaporated overnight. Inside Indiana's organization, one question hung heavy in the air. Who killed the deal? As insiders started piecing things together, one name kept coming up, Caitlin Clark. To the public, she's the face of the Fever's resurgence. The rookie phenom who has single-handedly transformed attendance, ratings, and merchandise sales. But behind the scenes, her influence stretches much further than most realize. By mid-season, Indiana was still searching for its rhythm, balancing injuries, inconsistent rotations, and the pressure building around the league's biggest new superstar. Lexie Hull, steady but unspectacular, had seen her minutes dip as Coach Stephanie White experimented with lineups. That's when the rumors started swirling, the kind that often come before a quiet exit. Yet this time something, or someone, stepped in before it could happen. To understand why, you have to understand the machine surrounding Caitlin Clark. She's not just a player, she's an industry. Managed by XL Sports and supported by titans like Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, and Wilson, Clark's presence generates millions in marketing value. Her PR team monitors narratives in real time, ensuring that every image, every quote, and every viral moment reinforces her clean, relatable brand. So when word reached her camp that Lexie Hull, a teammate who shared that same image of authenticity and warmth, might be traded, alarm bells went off. To them, Hull wasn't just another role player. She was part of the Caitlin Clark story, the chemistry that fans adored and brands quietly capitalized on. Together, they represented something rare in professional sports, a friendship that felt real, marketable, and pure. For Clark's management, losing Hull wasn't just a basketball decision. It was a brand risk. The optics mattered. The story mattered. A friendship fans had come to associate with Indiana's rise couldn't be undone by a mid-season trade for a bench shooter. According to reports, her team made their feelings known, not publicly, but firmly. Within hours, communication between Indiana and the other franchise froze. The message was clear, though never spoken out loud. Lexie stays. The trade was dead. Inside the Fever's organization, reactions were mixed. Owner Steve Simon, a businessman above all else, understood the math. Caitlin Clark was a revenue engine unlike anything the WNBA had ever seen. You don't jeopardize that for a minor roster adjustment. For him, loyalty to Clark's comfort zone meant protecting the investment. But Coach Stephanie White wasn't as easily convinced. To her, it was supposed to be a small, logical basketball move. Nothing more. The kind of transaction that happens every season. Yet, suddenly, it wasn't her decision to make. She was coaching a team where the balance of power had quietly shifted. Behind closed doors, you could feel the temperature drop. Coaches and front office staff began treading carefully, afraid of overstepping invisible boundaries. The Fever had entered a new era, one where basketball decisions were filtered through branding considerations. What began as a team-first rebuild was now a franchise orbiting around one star's gravitational pull. And while Clark's intentions may have been genuine, protecting a friend she trusted, the consequences stretched far beyond friendship. Inside the locker room, players processed it in their own ways. For some, it was a touching show of loyalty. Clark had her teammates back, and that kind of unity was rare. But for others, it set a dangerous precedent. If one player could decide who stayed and who left, what did that mean for everyone else? A veteran was overheard saying privately that it changed the rules of the game. Nobody wanted to go public. Nobody wanted drama, but the unease was palpable. Clark's influence had transcended the court. Meanwhile, Lexie Hull remained silent. No cryptic social media posts, no passive-aggressive comments, just focus and work. She showed up early, stayed late, and let her efforts speak for her. Over time, her role began to expand again. Her defense tightened. Her minutes grew. And Clark began praising her in interviews, highlighting her energy, her toughness, her value. Fans caught on quickly, rallying behind the Keep Lexie movement online. Local media played into it, broadcasting the duo's on-court chemistry like it was a storyline from a sports drama. In a way, it was, whether by genuine connection or strategic media orchestration, Lexie Hull went from trade bait to indispensable asset. But this wasn't just a victory for friendship. It was a reminder of how much power one player can hold in the modern sports era. The WNBA, built on the promise of parity and teamwork, was now facing its own version of player empowerment. For decades, the NBA had seen this phenomenon, LeBron, KD, and other megastars shaping their team's futures through influence rather than demand. Now, the same transformation was unfolding in women's basketball, only faster. Caitlin Clark's influence wasn't loud or confrontational. It was quiet, calculated, and absolute. The league took notice. Executives behind the scenes began whispering about the precedent set. If Clark's team could halt a trade once, what would stop them from influencing future roster moves, sponsorship deals, or even media access? It wasn't paranoia, it was foresight. The WNBA structure had never faced a figure like her before, someone whose brand reach could rival entire franchises. Every ticket sold, every broadcast rating spike, every viral highlight, it all traced back to her. The Fever knew it, the league knew it, and now, so did the rest of the world. In the months that followed, subtle changes began to take shape. Internal communication became more cautious. Every decision involving players or promotions was viewed through the lens of how it might affect the brand. Marketing teams coordinated with Clark's PR staff before releasing statements. Sponsors began aligning their campaigns with her schedule and imagery. The Fever organization wasn't just managing a team anymore. They were managing an empire, one centered on a single person. Some called it efficiency. Others called it control. Even Steve Simon's public tone began to shift. He no longer spoke about building a balanced roster, but about protecting the culture and direction Caitlin's creating. That said everything. Indiana wasn't just her team, it was her vision. So, was this a story of loyalty or leverage? Maybe both. Caitlin Clark has always valued trust, and her bond with Hull likely came from a place of genuine care. She wanted her friend close, wanted that chemistry to stay intact. But when loyalty exists alongside global sponsorships and billion-dollar brand influence, it becomes more than emotion. It becomes strategy. The Fever learned that the hard way. If a move doesn't align with the Caitlin Clark narrative, it simply doesn't happen. And maybe that's not arrogance. It's evolution. Clark has earned her power. She's redefined what it means to be a rookie, commanding both respect and authority in a league still learning how to handle its new superstar. Her quiet intervention didn't just save a teammate's job. It reshaped the dynamics of an entire franchise. At the heart of it all, Lexie Hull's story represents something much bigger than basketball. It's about how loyalty, influence, and control intertwine in the modern sports world, and how one player's reach can alter the direction of a franchise without ever raising her voice. In Indiana, loyalty isn't just a virtue anymore. It's leverage. So what do you think? Did Caitlin Clark's loyalty save her teammate? Or was this a subtle display of power cloaked in friendship? Was it protection or manipulation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Type 100 if you believe it was loyalty, or power move if you think it was strategy. Either way, one thing's for sure. The balance of power in the WNBA has officially shifted, and Caitlin Clark is the one holding the key. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because this story, the one where loyalty and legacy collide, is only just beginning.